everybody, it's Black Girl Lit here. I'm Nikea.
Jasmine.
And this is Black Girl Lit.
With literature, okay?
I already said that.
I don't care. I just want y'all to know what this is when you're coming into it. We're Black Girl Lit, we read lit.
And we get lit. Amen. So, I feel awkward because we haven't it's been like, usually we've been like week after week recording, but it's been a couple weeks.
We just recorded last week.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't.
Oh. I thought that was last Tuesday. Oh.
It was the week before.
Dang.
Alright, so we're here to review one of my picks. And it's allegedly a novel by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm trying not to be too excited. So a little bit of
excited about this. Like, pretty excited.
So a little bit of background on Tiffany. This novel was actually nominated for an NAACP Image Award, a Walter Dean Myers honored book, and a Coretta Scott King New Talent Award winner.
That's awesome. Claps for you, Tiffany. Good job.
Black girl who is lit. She got her Bachelor's of Arts in film from Howard University, HU. So she went to the Mecca.
IU Pride.
What? Where did that come from? She's a Brooklyn native. She loves naps, cookie dough, and beaches. Okay. That's what her bio says. She resides in Brooklyn currently, and she is most likely multitasking is what her bio says. And then her novel, Let Me Hear a Rhyme, comes out May 21st of this year. Okay. Yeah, so Tiffany, of course, pictures, you'll see those. So book synopsis, which is Jazz's expertise.
Yeah, man. So allegedly is about a 16-year-old girl named Mary, who is in a halfway house group home because she was just released from what she called baby jail, prison, for allegedly murdering a 3-month-old baby when she was 9 years old.
Pause.
So very heavy content that the book is about. So it starts off really, really heavy. I mean, you're trying to figure out if this girl, you know, did commit this crime in murdering a 3-month-old baby when she was 9 years old. Seems like an unconceivable kind of crime. Like, how can someone so young do something? So that's what the book is about. Basically trying to figure out if she actually did it, and then as well as Mary trying to get her life together and create a future for herself, and just kind of going through that throughout the book. So, quick synopsis.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on and use the feedback. Go ahead, Jazz.
Yeah, I feel good.
All right, now we're just gonna get into our reactions, which is just our general reactions. We're not gonna tell y'all anything about the story just yet. But my first reaction is, one, it's told in first person, and usually in novels when it's told in first person, that's kind of giving you a signal that they're an unreliable source, because you know it's just their side of the story. You're not gonna get everybody's side. I like the fact that the book flips between like interviews, flashbacks, and transcripts, and like from the first person's point of view. I thought that made it more realistic. And then I like the fact that throughout the novel, well, this kept me reading like literally. I read this book in 3 days. I beat Jazz this time.
She really did. Like, she was finished.
Jazz hadn't even started.
I hadn't even started. Like, she playing no games this time. She was real mad.
The author, she actually keeps the true story from the reader. So even though
I have that, yes.
So even though you get like these snippets from court sessions, from interviews, from other books that are written about the main character, she doesn't really tell you the whole story until you get to the end, which you still kind of confused.
Yes. And I literally have that. I said Mary tells the story to everyone but the audience until late in the book. And I think that's something that she said that keeps you reading, because you want to figure out. So she's, you know, said, oh, I sat down and told him. And then it skips to like the next scene, and it's after she's already told the story, and she's kind of describing everyone's reaction to it. And I'm like, girl, when you gonna tell me the story? I need to know what happened, so I know how to feel about you. And you don't find out to the end, and even when you do find out, it's like, what?
Like, what happened?
Wait, I literally had to reread the last chapter like twice, because I was like,
and then when she said that, I was like, maybe I need to reread the last chapter. Did I not get something?
Make it make sense, because I was confused.
Yeah, and then my last reaction was, it jumps like quick, like things happen so fast. And there was one point where I was reading, and I was like, did I skip a page? And I had to go back. And I think that's because it's like going in between those different types of telling the story, and then it's keeping information from you. So you're like, did I miss something? But yeah. That's my reaction.
Okay.
Jasmine.
So, my reactions are very similar. Like I said, the thing about the way that Mary, the main character, tells the story of the alleged crime was really interesting to me, and how it kept me interested in the book. I think was very well written. I think was very descriptive. I saw myself in the group home with the other girls that she was there. I saw all those girls that she was in the house with. I saw, you know, her PO, her parole officer. I saw everything, and I like how descriptive it was. And I also like that the book allowed me to feel something. So I felt in the beginning, I felt really bad for Mary. I felt really bad for her situation. Did I feel that way towards the end? A little bit, yeah. But I still felt something. And I think, like I said,
it gets you on her side.
It gets you on her side, definitely. And I think it was just really good that you get kind of involved and sucked into these characters. So I think that was a really good thing about the book.
All right, so our next section is major scenes and topics. So we're kind of combining the two. So some topics that I thought were very prevalent. There we go. Prevalent and relevant.
She hasn't even been really drinking that much.
So some major topics I have where it highlights the corruption in the criminal justice system and how that affects children, and more specifically African American children, and then forms of abuse, physical, sexual, mental, emotional, just all types of abuse, and then also mental health issues.
Oh, yes.
Did you have any other topics?
I just had the way mental health in the Black community specifically.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about that in another video. I think Point,
yeah.
We addressed it. I definitely feel like it definitely is something that we need to discuss more in the Black community about mental health issues. Right. And I really like how you pointed out the corruption in the criminal justice system, because when you actually finally hear the story and get, you know, the background, you're like, was the punishment really worth the crime? Yes, a child was killed, but when you actually get the details, it's still kind of like,
was it handled correctly?
Was it handled properly?
So we're just gonna base our scenes. So those are our major topics. So our scenes are gonna correlate with those. So we don't give y'all all the tea on the book, so our videos aren't like complete spoilers.
Still spoiler
like
alert.
Leave you wanting more. Yeah. Minor spoiler alert.
That's my spoiler alert.
So I mean, I guess you were talking about the criminal justice system, like how the case was handled. So Mary had like a court-appointed lawyer that didn't really know the ins and outs of the case. I think she took a plea deal, and her mom signed it for her because she was a minor. Her mother was broke.
Her mother wasn't, you know, the most educated person.
Yeah. So
her mother also was struggling from mental health issues herself. Right. So there was a lot of things at play to where was Mary's mother the best person to be making this decision for her in terms of taking this plea deal, as well as the court-appointed lawyer. Yeah. And then also when even during the investigation portion, the detectives were very coercive. They were offering her food and candy and stuff to get, you know, her to tell information. Right. Her mother wasn't involved in the interview. So there's a lot of things that kind of show the corruption, because there's a lot of people today who are in jail or prison because of how their cases were handled.
I saw something on Facebook today about how this dude went to jail because a police officer killed his friend.
Oh, okay.
The fuck? Like,
that makes sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, Log.
Yes, and then you think about it, like, what if this had been a white child?
This is not without giving too much away, but that is a huge piece as well, is race. Mary's a black girl.
White.
The baby's white. So that's a huge thing. It's a little black girl killing a white baby. And as you know, unfortunately, our race, African Americans, are usually treated as adults in situations when they are children. And that's something that they even talk about in the book. And Mary should have been tried as an adult because of her crime. She's 9 years old. So there's a lot of things that kind of go into like the corruption of our criminal justice system, and that is really prevalent and major right now.
Yeah, and you know, in the white community, they would have hired a lawyer and they would have got like
probation,
mental insanity, and it would have been in the not insane asylum, that's old, the mental health institution for like 3 months, and they got out on good behavior and been done. Mary's been dealing with this for 6 years now. Right.
Yeah. And like just even to like go into like real cases. So like I just read an article about this girl, white girl, 18. She hit and killed 3 people, including a 3-month-old baby. And she got sentenced to 36 months probation. No jail time, gets probation. Whereas Jesse Smollett paid somebody to beat him up, allegedly. And he's getting 16 felony charges. Like, make it make sense, Lord.
Yeah, in that case that I saw where the police officer shot somebody's friend and he's going to jail for 6 65 years and up to like a death sentence. I'm like,
but the cop killed him. I didn't do it.
Right. I'm like,
you're right.
I can't even
make it make
right now.
sense. So next topic was
abuse. Ooh, so we have mental, physical, emotional, sexual.
Lots of abuse throughout the story. And not just like your typical abuse of like, and I'm sorry, okay. Like just like the sexual abuse is the different people in Mary's life, from her stepfather to people, the guards at the prison when she was in baby jail. Abuse even within the group home, the other girls are attacking each other. There's a lot of different things, but go ahead. I just kind of, this is your topic.
No, you're good. I was gonna say her mom mentally and emotionally abuses her because her mom made her, after her husband or boyfriend, whoever, she was having an affair with this dude, but after her boyfriend was like, oh, Mary needs to like go get checked by a doctor, she might have ADHD, they took her to some doctor and made her like get on this medication without proper like documentation and diagnosis, and her mom was just so into this guy and like trying to control Mary. And even with handling the case, like after, I don't want to tell y'all what happened with the baby because y'all need to read the book. But after the situation with
Alyssa.
Yes, there we go. After the situation with Alyssa dying, when that went down, Mary and her mom were the only ones present. Mary's mom was telling her, oh, tell the police that you did it because, you know, they'll be nicer because you're younger. I'm older and I can't go to jail. So her mom was like very manipulative, very controlling. Like it even goes into detail in the book how Mary would have to like take care of the bills and take care of the money and stuff like that. And Mary at the time was like younger than 9 years old, taking care of her mom. So she's had to deal with like people mentally abusing her, taking advantage of her. And actually in the book she's talking to us, but she's actually been silent for like from the time Alyssa died up until, you know, when the book starts. She only talks to certain people, and even when she does talk, some people are shocked that they hear her voice like,
you
can talk. Right, they think she's dumb. But because of all the stuff, I think she went silent because of all the stuff that she has dealt with in her life.
Mechanism.
Yeah.
And I think just kind of like the thing with Mary also goes into the next topic with like Mary's mom was the mental health. The reason why Mary's having to take care of these things because Mary's mom is having days, and when she's having a day, which I just kind of assume that maybe she's like bipolar or some kind of manic depressive. So when she's having these days, she just can't function. She can't do anything. Can't take care of herself or take care of Mary. So Mary has to be the adult, and that has greatly affected how she is throughout the story and kind of what leads her to be in the situation, because Mary thinks that even as a child that she can fix everything and take care of everything. When you're 9 years old, you should not be expected to do all that.
And her mom Mary also has to make sure like her mom takes her medication. It mentions like sometimes Mary wouldn't eat, or she would get sick from eating bad food, and her mom wouldn't take her to the doctor. And I think I wrote in my notes like her mom like a hypochondriac. Which one is it, like hypochondriac or Munchausen syndrome, where people like make you think you're sick when you're really not?
Munchausen by proxy.
Yes, I think that's the more you know. The more you know.
There was a lot of things even within the book, and then the mental health is not just on Mary's mother. Also, it's Mary too. Mary definitely struggles from her own mental health issues. And as you're reading the book, you're trying to figure out, has she always had these issues? Is it just because of everything that she's been through? And you really just try to struggle and figure out throughout the book, at least for me, until the end, I was like, oh, Mary's sane. Mary, you know, then I was like, Mary, are you sane? I don't know.
Right. Don't put it in there.
Mama.
Oh, dang, Harvey, you made me forget my thought. Oh, with Mary, and again, talking about mental health, with her mom, throughout the book, even towards the end, where Mary wants her mom to like help her and save her and kind of take her case back to court, Mary still wants to protect her mom, even though the lawyer is like, you need to do this to protect yourself. But Mary's mom is just, I wrote in my notes that she's like a sociopath.
She is. Mary's mother has a lot of issues, and the way that she's described, especially because there's like some things where while Mary's in jail, her mother, I think she came to visit her but never helped her out financially, never did anything. So there's a lot of things that you can see, struggles that go through Mary and her mother. And you're like, she said, you're like at the book, you're like, why are you still defending your mama, girl? At some point you gotta start looking out for self. But at the same time, it's hard to kind of like not be there for your parents or not defend your parents. And I think that's something also that happens a lot within the Black community, that we always feel that we have to reach back to our families and our parents, when necessarily it's not the case. A lot of times children, especially Black children or children of color, feel like they owe their parents stuff because they took care of us. But I'm like,
if they were hurting
that's you're supposed to take care of us.
You gotta cut off toxic relationships. Like, even familial relationships are not healthy.
Yeah. And so I think that's something else that the book talks about.
Oh, going back to the corrupt system, like, everybody was corrupt. Miss Stein, which she ran the group home. Her sister, who was there, she was security in the group home. Winters, which was like her social worker, and there was a social worker and her caseworker, whatever those, I don't know.
Oh, Winters was her PM.
Yes, there we go. And then her caseworker. They just, whenever Mary would try to bring up she wants to like do something for her case or do something for herself, and like throughout the book she's trying to take her SAT because she wants to go to college, they're like, you can't do that, or they just,
they were constant roadblocks to her trying to be successful and create a better life for herself.
For what?
All because they felt like she was a baby killer and that she would never amount to anything because of this thing that she allegedly did in her past. And they were never going to allow her to do anything. Which is still very true for people who are coming out of jail or any kind of incarceration. There's very hard for them to restart their lives and become a productive person in society. America is really good at punishing people, but we do nothing for the rehabilitation. So that's definitely something that you see talks about in the book.
Yeah. And when Mary is like, she's really smart, like super smart. Like, she took the practice SAT and got a really high score. I think she didn't do well on the math because of her calculator. Yeah. Like, she had just a regular 4-function calculator when she needed a Texas Instrument.
Yep. TI-89.
Yeah, I think we did good. We didn't give away. There's some stuff.
There's a lot of stuff in the book. And look, we did good.
We didn't tell y'all because I was about to say
read it. Look, I was about to use some tea.
Because Mary is dealing with something throughout the entire book.
Dealing, struggling, trying to get through. How am I gonna get through, y'all? But y'all don't know because y'all gotta read the book though. And then when y'all read it, let us know, and then we can discuss it together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess I did have one question.
Questions that need answers. We need to add another segment to the video.
What's your question?
Jazz's question.
I didn't have a question last time. I got one this time. Do you think that Mary was jealous of Alyssa?
That's good. Yes and no. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna say no because she just wanted to get out of her situation, and she wanted Alyssa's mother to care for her, and she felt like with Alyssa's mother she could get the care that she needed, and then she could share Alyssa's mother with Alyssa and be Alyssa's sister. And I would say yes, because at the end of the book you kind of find out what happened. So So I personally felt that yes. Everybody's like, what are they talking about?
So I personally felt yes, she was jealous. I mean, I think she loved Alyssa, definitely cared about her, but I definitely think that she was jealous of the homebringing and upbringing that Alyssa was going to have. She had this mother who really loved her, this dad who loved her, and that's something that Mary didn't have. So I think she really struggled with it. And like you said, towards the end of the book, you really be like, oh, okay, dear girl, there were some underlying feelings in there towards how you thought about the Bridgerton family, and it comes out very heavily at the end of the book. So that was the only question I had.
All right, y'all. Now it's time to rate it.
Rate
the screen is shaking.
Rate the book.
All right, so y'all should know our rating system by now. So we have 4 levels, or me and Jazz in our phones, we
4
use
flames,
all right,
whatever.
So 1 flame means that it's sober. The book was whack. So you know how you feel when you sober, everybody else around you having a good time, and you just like,
I want to go.
Yeah, I want to go. And then 2 flames means that it's buzz.
Those
like,
flames.
Okay, I can say a little bit. I can vibe with this. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling a little bit buzzed, like drinking this pecan honey rum from the devil. 3 flames, which is, what is that?
That is tipsy.
Oh, there we go. Tipsy. This tipsy? That's spirit fingers. Tipsy, but you know how you feel when you tipsy. You start, give me some more drinks. Let me get lit. Let me get lit. And then 4 flames is lit.
It's totally lit, guys.
Back to the video. Tongue out, all that stuff. You drunk texting, drunk phone calling.
Doing lots of things that you probably shouldn't do. But you're lit, so you don't care.
Drunk texting that one friend that you don't talk to no more.
Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to let you go first. Because I did my rating first last time.
Okay. So, my rating is this book is lit! I love this book. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I was excited about it. I was just reading it. I read it in 3 days. It was just so good. I love this book. Tiffany D. Jackson. I have another book by her on my list, which I hope she doesn't disappoint. Because I just love this book. And this book is kind of thick, y'all. It's almost 400 pages. But it was so good. I read it in 3 days, like I said.
3 days.
So good. Like, I was staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Dang. Reading
this book. Like, it's lit. It was good. Like, even though it was a heavy topic, it was a good read. It was well written. I enjoyed it. Like, good job, Nikea.
Good job, Nikea. Why don't you give yourself spirit fingers and say good job, Nikea?
I love it.
All right. So, my rating. And you know what's funny? You said last video that you wanted us to have different ratings. So, we have different ratings. Why she getting mad at me for having a different rating?
Why of all times when we got the littest book we got that you want to have a different rating? Because that means her rating is lower than mine because lit is the highest it could be.
What was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason?
Unless we're going to get lit.
No. It's
Let
not.
me see how much of a hater she going to be.
I'm not hating. So my rating is actually tipsy. I gave it 3 flames. And to be completely honest with you, it was a lit book until I got to the end. When I had to go back and reread, that is what killed it for me and not made it a lit
That
book.
makes it even more lit.
I don't think it was. I think because it didn't give me
the higher level thinking.
I mean, it gave me higher level thinking, but then it also, it didn't give me the conclusion and wholehearted rapture and closure and
like it literally is with a name, right?
Right. It didn't give me what I needed. Like, I have so many questions, and I know it's just crazy because that's hypocritical. Because I said in the Bells video that the Bells video that the book made me want to read more, and I wanted to know what was going to happen next as a cliffhanger. But I also knew that there was a sequel, so I was okay, and I knew there was more out there for me to read. But there's no sequel for Allegedly, so I'm like, Tiffany, I need more details. So because I didn't have those details, I gave it a tipsy. But
if we were doing numbers, it would be a 3.5. That's
not bad. That's not bad. That's rounded up. That's a 4.
So we like it's a tipsy and a half.
Like I said, I do think that this book should be read by a lot of people. It talks about a lot of issues within
white people should read this book.
Everybody, regardless of your race, ethnicity, your gender, sexuality, you need to read this book. I think it's very good. I just felt like it didn't give me personally the ending that I wanted, and that's just me being selfish because I'm an only child.
Anywho, that is our review for today of Allegedly. I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, let us know what you think.
Let us know.
You know, we changed it up a little bit, made it a little more concise. So our next book is The Bell Sequel by Danielle Clayton, The Everlasting Rose. This just came out on March 5th. Today is March.
She already got it out the library. You know how hard it was for her to get Margot out the library.
But the thing about this is the library, they get books before they come out. So they already had it. They've had it for a while. So I'm excited. I've already started reading it.
I have as well this time. Let's see who's going to win this time. It's not a race. It's not
I'm on page 116.
I'm not that far. So
I read more when my fiance is out of town.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Yeah. That's it for today's video.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Rate, comment, and subscribe. We also have now got the Black Girl Lit social medias popping. Alright, we'll drop that stuff and the stuff because I don't know where stuff goes into YouTube. Oh, she pointing down, so it goes
here.
down.
It'll be I'll put it on the screen and I'll put it in the description box.
Yeah, what she said.
Follow us.
Follow us. Let us know. Give us some feedback. Look, we took some feedback. We got some criticism and we have executed against it. So we are listening. So if you have anything, if you have some books that you would like us to read, or if you have any questions and want to discuss further about the books that we have read, please let us know.
Yes.
Booked and busy.
Right. We're probably we're good until probably like July.
15 books, I think we got.
Yeah.
But if it's a good book, if y'all think it's a lit book, we may be able to work it in there somewhere.
Yeah,
so just
like
let us know.
we inserted the bells because you gotta read the sequel.
Gotta read the sequel. Well, thank you guys again for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you next one. Bye.